Welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content surrounding childhood sexual abuse. I share on this channel news stories. I also share my experience to raise awareness and also talk to you about my experience of things I found helpful along my own journey. And I also share other survivors' stories to give voice to their experience as well. So if this is the type of content that you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And don't forget to hit the like button if you like the content. So in my last video, which I will leave a link to, I was talking about it's not news anymore. And I was talking about the fact that child sexual abuse doesn't seem to be in mainstream news. And that when I do stories, I usually have to go searching for the stories to bring you on my channel. But would you believe yesterday in the Daily Mail newspaper, I didn't even have to go searching for a story. A middle-class churchgoer convicted with her lover of being part of a paedophile ring has overturned a ban on having unsupervised contact with children. Monica Mccanch, who's in her late 60s, had her indefinite sexual offences prevention order lifted by a judge and is now likely to also apply to have her name removed from the sex offenders register. Mccanch, formerly of Ash, Canterbury, Kent, was jailed for 6 years in September 2007 after admitting 4 offences of sexual activity with a child and 1 of engaging in sexual activity in the presence of a child. The ex-clinical trials manager with pharmaceutical company Pfizer sobbed throughout her sentencing at Maidstone Crown Court, which heard she couldn't bear the shame and stigma of being labelled a child abuser. Then 55, she was jailed with 2 accomplices, Oxford-educated Army Major Archibald Wood, who was 60 at the time, and retail manager Stephen Horton, who was 44. Mccanch, who was married, and Wood were lovers and attended swingers parties with his wife. They met warehouse manager Horton, who advised for children on a paedophile chat room at a house in Fleet, Hampshire. They subjected their victims to a 6-hour ordeal, forcing them to perform sex acts and to watch the adults as they engaged in sex, the court heard. Mccanch's 29-year marriage ended after police started investigating, following a tip-off from Horton's girlfriend. Mccanch now uses a different surname and wrote to the court in July this year to ask for her sexual offences prevention order to be overturned. She said she would like it to be discharged, saying that since her release, she's lived a quiet life concentrating on her garden. Her request was said to have been prompted and supported by Kent Police, who assessed the pensioner at low risk of sexual offending. Police also confirmed to the court she had neither breached the conditions of her order nor reoffended since her release from prison. The order had included a ban on making contact with and having unsupervised contact with children under the age of 16. Monica did not attend last week's hearing at Maidstone Court, but Judge Tony Baumgartner said the application could be dealt with administratively and that he was satisfied the order should be discharged. I must admit, when I read this story, I was just in total disbelief. This woman, I believe, has been given female privilege in having her ban overturned. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Sexual Harm Prevention Order is an order made against any person who is found to have committed an offence under Schedule 3 or 5 of the Sexual Offences Act. They are imposed by a magistrate or a judge at a Crown Court if the person is considered to be a risk to the general public or to another specific person. In this case, she was considered to be a risk and a danger to children. So there are a few things about this story that has rubbed me the wrong way. First of all, in addressing the court through her letter, she said she could not bear the stigma of being labelled a child abuser. But the fact is, that's exactly what she is. She is a child abuser because not only did she commit the act along with her lover and his friend, she also was convicted and sent to jail for it. So therefore, she is a convicted child abuser. And regardless of whether she can bear the stigma or not, I'm sorry to say she has to bear the brunt of her consequences. Because the child, who had nothing to do with her depraved lifestyle, has had to bear the consequences of her actions. Another thing that rubbed me the wrong way is the fact that she said she wants to have a quiet life tending to her garden. My question is, are her victims having a quiet life? I would like to ask them, has their life been okay since her lover and his friend abused them? Remember, she was convicted after admitting 4 counts of sexual activity with a child and also in engaging in sexual activity in front of a child. In regards to the police backing that her order be overturned, I want to know, did she actually undergo extensive therapy or rehabilitation? Because this woman seemed to have a very depraved mindset. We know from countless research that has been done that paedophiles and child offenders don't just pick up themselves and abuse children. To engage in sexual activities in front of a child shows that she has quite a depraved nature. I don't care about the fact that she's a middle class churchgoer. If you watch my videos on this channel, you know that I'm always saying that it doesn't matter what the position the person has in the church. It doesn't mean anything without a relationship with Christ. This is it. People will look on people's positions within communities, their labels, their positions, and immediately say, well, you know, this person is an upstanding person. This person, because of their position, means that they're of good character and good morals. No, that is not the case. The fact that she's a pensioner is neither here nor there. She was convicted of this crime at 55 years old. Just because somebody is aged as a pensioner doesn't mean that their nature and their depraved thoughts and feelings, which she clearly had, would suddenly go away. It doesn't mean that she is harmless. The fact that she just put a letter into the court, she didn't even bother to turn up, just lots of things with this case has just rubbed me the wrong way. I think the ban should remain in place as it does for male offenders of child sexual abuse. And I do wonder if female privilege has played a part here, because I believe if it was a man in this case, I don't believe that this would have been overturned. I think as a society, people are still to get their heads around the fact that women can be paedophiles, because it's that nature-nurture kind of connotation that is given to women, that as women, as life givers, as women who can give birth to children, that automatically means that women can nurture and care for children. And that is not the case with a lot of women. Unfortunately, there are women paedophiles. Maybe they make up under 5%. Maybe they're not heard about a lot. But as you can see, there are women paedophiles. And the fact that she's crying and saying that she can't bear the stigma, I wonder if that must have pulled on the judge's heartstrings. But she is clearly a convicted sex offender. She shouldn't be allowed contact with children, and she should remain on the child sex offenders register. I believe that, you know, she is manipulative, and I believe unless there has been some extensive rehabilitation and therapy to delve into why she thought it was okay to indulge in such depraved acts, I don't think that the ban should be lifted. But yeah, I just wanted to bring you this story. Definitely feel like there's female privilege being played out in this case. I don't think it's right. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on the matter, and I will see you on the next video.